Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. As always, it's me, Ivan, and in today's video we're taking a look at the Militado ML20, which is clearly inspired by the Sinn U50. This one costs less than $200, it houses the PT5000 movement, and it looks pretty sharp in this black PVD configuration. There are a couple of small things I wish were done a bit better, but overall, for the money, this is a pretty solid piece. So let's not waste any more time and take a closer look. Just a quick heads up guys, AliExpress is currently running their Valentine's sale, and then there is another pretty big sale coming up at the end of March. So if you end up being interested in this model, this could actually be a great time to pick one up. As usual, I've left the link down in the description and in the pinned comment, along with some discount codes. With those, you should be able to bring the price down to around $170 or even closer to $160 if you go for one of the non-PVD versions. And once again, I think this is a really nice deal for what you're getting in return. Alright, let's continue with the dimensions. Militado decided to make this one a bit more compact than the Sinn they are taking inspiration from. What we've got here is a 39mm case diameter, a true 46mm lug-to-lug, and a thickness of 12mm. The lug width is 20 and sized for my 17cm or 6.7-inch wrist, it comes in at 126 grams. When it comes to actual wearability, it's pretty great. It sits very comfortably on the wrist, and the bracelet tapering down to 16mm really helps in that regard. And visually, I think it looks fantastic. Out of the three colorways, this black PVD version is probably the one that's going to attract the most attention to your wrist. Here is a closer look at the bracelet. It's an H-link design, and overall it's pretty good in terms of build quality and finishing. All the links are solid, the end links fit the case nicely, and the removable links are secured with screws. Guys, the PVD coating is also applied very evenly, and even though I haven't worn this watch a lot yet, it doesn't seem like it's going to scratch that easily. As for the clasp, it's milled and it comes with 5 micro adjustment positions. It does a good job of fine-tuning the fit, and considering this watch costs less than $200, I'm totally fine with not having an on-the-fly adjustable clasp. Moving on to the case design, there isn't much to say here except that, well, it looks like a Sinn, and that can either be a good thing or a bad thing depending on where you stand when it comes to this kind of homage watches. Personally, I'm fine with it. The Sinn U50 costs almost 15 times more, which in my opinion is a bit too much for what it is, but that's a topic for another day. The point is that for around $180, Militado are offering a proper 2-watch design with pretty decent build quality. Speaking of which, you're getting a sapphire crystal, a screw-down crown, and a screw-down case back, which give you 200 meters of water resistance. The only thing that I'm not really fond of is the case back. It's not PVD coated, so you can actually see the bare steel when you're wearing the watch. It's not a deal breaker and I can definitely live with it, but yeah, it does catch my attention from time to time. Next, it's time to talk about the dial, and I'm happy to report that it looks really attractive. It's very nicely executed, the gradient blue looks beautiful, and the fine sandpaper texture really helps with legibility since it's not reflective at all. Then you've got the syringe hands and the printed indices, both of which look great, and at 6 o'clock there is a date window. And this is where my second minor complaint comes in. It has to do with the font used on the date wheel. It simply doesn't match the font on the bezel. Again, I can live with it, but it would have been better if the two were at least somewhat similar. That said, aside from that small detail, It's a great looking dial and it pairs really well with the black case and bracelet. As for the Lume, it's BGW9 and there honestly isn't much to say about it. It performs really well in the dark, even though the indices are printed rather than applied, and it lasts about as long as most of my other watches that use the same Lume. So, no complaints here. Alright guys, before we talk about the movement, let's quickly check out the bezel and its action. It's a steel bezel with a steel insert and the knurling around the edge provides a decent amount of grip. As for the action, it's pretty good. It's slightly on the lighter side and there's a bit of backplay, but overall, it's decent. And all 120 clicks are well defined and give you nice tactile feedback. Now, when it comes to the movement, Militado have opted for the PT5000, which I've had and still have in quite a few other watches. From my experience, it's a great performing movement. In this particular case, mine is running at around 7 seconds fast per day, which is pretty great. For those who might not be familiar with it, this is essentially an ETA 2824 clone, so the specs are very similar. You're looking at a 4 Hz movement with 25 joules and roughly 38 hours of power reserve. And as long as you don't hand wind it too much, it should be perfectly reliable in the long run. So to wrap things up, the Militado ML20 does a lot of things right. You're getting a compact and very wearable case, solid bracelet construction, a good bezel action, a great looking textured gradient dial, strong BGW9 Lume and the reliable PT5000 movement. On top of that, you've got sapphire crystal and 200 meters of water resistance, all for well under $200. Yes, there are a couple of small imperfections. The date font could match the bezel better, and I would have preferred a PVD coated case back, but honestly, those are minor things. Overall guys, this is a very well made watch that looks great on the wrist and offers excellent value for the money, which is why I can confidently recommend it. Now, if you're willing to spend around $100 more, you could consider Engelmann watches as an alternative, as they are built and finished to an even higher standard. But if you would rather stay within this price range, in my opinion, the Militado ML20 is the one to go for. That's all for today guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've got more reviews coming up very soon, so stay tuned for those. As always, feel free to leave your thoughts down in the comments and I'll catch you in the next one.